Hey, my name's Julia McGarry, and this is Road Less Traveled Homeschool. I have been a parent coach since 2018. For most of that time, have been coaching parents of highly sensitive kids, and that can encompass so many things: neurodivergence, giftedness, twice exceptional kids, PDA profile, ADHD. There's a lot there are a lot of different neurotypes that could also be considered highly sensitive. So I have lots of experience with all different types of kids, right? And I myself am a former gifted educator. I used to teach sixth grade reading in a standalone gifted classroom, and I'm a homeschool mom myself. I started homeschooling my only child when she entered kindergarten in 2020, and it was really a perfect fit for us because we would have signed her up for our neighborhood school if it hadn't been COVID, if that had been a normal year. But we didn't. We started homeschooling and we loved it. We did it for 2 years and then tried a small private school that we felt would be able to meet her needs the way she deserved to be met. And after a year and a half, we realized it really just wasn't a good fit. Her mental health was suffering, and we came back to homeschool. And we've been doing it ever since. So now she is a fifth grader. Um, so that puts us at 4 years homeschooling total because we started mid year and it's mid year now. We came back mid year, you know. So that's a little bit about me. I'm recording this live, and just so you know, I've written down some notes. So if you see me looking down, that's why. I just wanted to come on here and share with you all a little bit more about me, a little bit about my homeschooling experience, my relationship with supporting parents. So, yeah. Let's see. Right. Okay. So now we've been living this secular homeschool life for about 4 years now, right? And I have noticed some things that I want to share with you. So, number one, there aren't the same kinds of supports out there for secular families that there are for faith based homeschool families. Um, we don't have the big resource centers or the huge meetups. We're a smaller portion of the homeschool population in general, and we're walking a different path, trying to make sense of advice that wasn't really designed for us. Number two, the secular homeschool community is not only smaller, there are more families that were thrown into homeschooling. Like, if you look at the faith based homeschool world, a lot of parents knew very early on that they wanted to homeschool their kids. They were doing it for, um, values driven reasons, religious reasons. Um, a lot of people in the secular world, though, never planned to homeschool. They sent their kids to public school and found out after a year, 2 years, 3 years that it really was not a good fit for their child. They watched their child's interest in math diminish. They watched their child's mental health fade. They watched um, they watched their kids get bullied. All of those things can lead to parents withdrawing from public school and choosing to homeschool. But that doesn't mean that um, they are here because they wanted to be here, right? So there can often be some uh, mental roadblocks that come up when you're a parent that has been thrown into homeschooling rather than chosen it from the day your child was born. Um, so, yeah, it can be hard to find community when that is your homeschool path. And really, that's part of why I'm starting this. I want this group to be open to all kinds of secular homeschoolers, and I put that in there specifically because I want it to be safe for people who do not want religious curriculum or religious ideas in their curriculum that they have to then skate around or overlook. I don't There are a lot of Facebook groups out there, that t like, they'll tell you, "Oh, this curriculum's fine. Um, just ignore the Bible verses on the math pages." So, we don't wanna do that here. So I'm very clear this is for secular homeschoolers, um, liberal, progressive, inclusive homeschoolers. We look for own voices in our curricula. And if that's you, hey, welcome. I'm excited you're here. And if that's not you, that's okay. It just means this isn't the right fit for you because there are so many other resources available. I'm creating this resource for those families that don't have those other resources available. Okay. And that actually brings me to my third thing that I've noticed, and that is the Facebook groups. Facebook groups, uh, well, they can be a great support if you're a homeschooler. There are so many people willing to share their experiences, willing to give you advice, willing to sell you old curricula, their curriculum, whatever. There are some really great Facebook groups out there, but they're also big and loud and they can feel a little bit unsafe. And like I said, even in secular groups, you run the risk of getting advice from people who have a different definition of secular than you do. And so, I mean, just sidebar for the purposes of this group, like I was saying, secular does not mean neutral here. It means um, we learn about evolution, we learn about the big picture of history, we look for own voices to support our historical learning, to support our language arts, to support all of it. Um, this is a progressive, liberal space, and you should know that coming into it. That's why I'm making this video, y'all. Um, anyway, you can run the risk of people recommending stuff that doesn't fit with that. So, yeah, and that's not even touching the problems with Facebook itself, which is why I'm starting this group here off of Facebook on school. I mean, my goal is to remove myself from Facebook completely eventually. And so I am not building a group on that platform. So hopefully, all of us anti Facebook folks can gather here and connect. And that would be lovely. Um, yeah, I'm creating this space off Facebook for secular, inclusive homeschool parents, a place where you can get support on the hard days from like minded peers, a place with access to a mentor, me, who can help you build an education that works for your family, whether you think that needs to be supported by a curriculum or you're leaning more towards unschooling. You know, there's lots of unschool support out there too, but um, like this is my intention is to help you figure out what is right for the child that you are raising, okay, the child that you're educating. And sometimes the right fit is unschooling and sometimes it's not, so we figure that out together. If you've already figured it out, great, you're still welcome here. Okay. Yeah, this is a place where messy is allowed and on this path less traveled. So even when it feels hard, I want us to have a space that helps bring a little bit of joy back to our day-to-day life, our homeschooling life. And yeah, that can be hard to find sometimes without community, without support, without uh, perspective. So here we are. And last but not least, yes, there is a paywall for this group. And for now, it's only $1 a month. That's less than you'd pay for a cup of coffee, right? If you went out to get coffee. It includes weekly coffee dates here that are low key, low stress, come as you are, kids welcome. It's just a time to connect and meet other homeschool parents. All right. It's also, I put the paywall in place to help create a sense of safety for this group, to help create a barrier, an obstacle for folks who might join and not be fully on board with the secular nature of this group, with the political affiliation of this group, with the idea that we're not here to sell things in this group. I mean, okay, so I'm a coach, and yes, I do offer coaching. It's available, but that's not why we're here. And there's so many bots, so many people who join groups to push their own thing. And that's not what this group is about. So we do have a paywall in place. And like I said, right now it's only $1. It's not a big deal. So hopefully you're willing to make that jump and join us here. And we're really excited to have you. Welcome.